No matter how high-tech, highfalutin, lazy, or foo-foo America gets, we will never stop hunting and fishing. This is the Hunting Quest. Hunting Quest. We take 1 hour of every week and talk about our favorite things in the world, hunting and fishing. You'll get tips and help on the fishing environment locally in the DMV area. Plus, we're going to have fun along the way. This is the Hunting Quest. And now your host, Mike Tippin.
What's going on, Mikey?
Hey.
Welcome back.
Hey. I'll do a Bennett. Hey.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
Hump day.
So things are good. How are things with you?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Something like that.
This is take two.
Take two. All the technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long, like we were talking, it's been a long week. Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Couple of months for you.
Months, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Man. So you were saying you're ready to get back out there and go duck hunting and ready to hit the blinds?
No.
No?
I'm ready for the turkey woods. That's what I'm ready for.
That I'm with you.
I'm ready to chase some thunder chickens around the woods. That's rivals duck hunting for me.
I'm with you there. No doubt. Turkey season will be upon us in a couple of weeks in certain states.
I think, yeah.
So
getting close.
Yeah, for sure.
Time to start patterning guns and getting all your calls and clothes and stuff set out and make sure you got everything for sure.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a fun year, I think, for turkey season.
Oh, yeah.
James invited me out to go shoot try to shoot some turkeys out there in the Shenandoah Valley. So that ought to be a freaking blast. I've never hunted Shenandoah Valley, so definitely a treat there. I'm glad he offered it up, and we'll go chase something through a holler.
Oh yeah, old mountain bird.
Where you gonna hunt at?
I don't know yet. Around me in Maryland, I do a lot of public land. It's growing up in Missouri, hunting them in Missouri, it's all private land with a couple hundred acres, and where the birds roost because you've owned the farm for 15 years and stuff like that. So I like the challenge of not knowing the birds, and not to mention the places I go, there's a lot of photographers out, so they
really
they're everywhere. So those birds
never had that problem.
Oh my God, it's brutal. Those birds are so smart. They fly down into, there'll be little pockets back in the wood of just swamps. And they'll pitch down into that, and they don't come out to fields. They'll sit there and strut back and forth in those little cuts in the woods. And
sounds like what a turkey would do.
If you're not set, in that 20-yard opening, you ain't going to see them.
So are you allowed to scout on public land?
Yeah.
Like hard
depending.
scout?
Yeah, depending. So we'll go down. Last year we went down and put a few birds to roost the night before, like for the youth season and stuff. We went and roosted a couple, and ended up paying off good with that. But one of the other places I hunt, right down the road from me, they don't allow any scouting.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Which is a real challenge. You want a challenge, go turkey hunt and not scout a minute before you walk into the woods.
I think that would just be a day of drinking.
Yeah, that's about what it was. That's what I did last year. Opening day, I got drawn to hunt that spot. No scouting beforehand, and we got to the little check-in stand, whatever it was, an hour and a half before shooting light or whatever. And got to talking to some of the guys that worked there, and they're like, hey, man, this is kind of where you need to be. Like, this is where we would go, and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of matched up with some of the stuff I had been scouting just on Onyx, just trying to find those saddles and find those, creek bottoms and that kind of stuff, and setting up on the saddle.
You can do so much with Onyx, man.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You see the water, the fields, the topography. You find that saddle, and man, I got
that can work against you too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have the best spots in the world, on Onyx, and you're looking at it, and I won't say that I've ever done this, but I know people who have accidentally drifted onto other people's property.
Oh.
And with Onyx, it'll tell you very clearly where that property line is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no guesswork in that one. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Ward. I didn't say it there. My bad.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I like the Onyx too, especially deer hunting stuff like that. You can see and find the landowner and ask permission before you're going on to other people's property. And
yeah, for sure.
Avoid all those problems altogether.
Yeah, definitely worth the subscription.
Oh yeah, I say, and I do the pro every year since we're hunting. Virginia, Missouri, Maryland, Kansas. Yep. We've got another one that Travis was telling me to use for up in Canada. I forget the name of that one is, but it's a very similar thing. Shows you, the map and all the people that own those grid squares and all that stuff. So.
Oh yeah. That'd be kind of cool though. I mean,
the second one here soon.
Yeah, I'm surprised Onyx isn't up there yet.
Yeah, me too. And the one that's up there that they're using is not. It doesn't look nearly as user friendly as Onyx is. I mean, Onyx can be simple.
Yeah, dude. My whole hunting camp, that's all we do. We'll draw like maps as to where to, drive up to, and then get out of your, whatever you're in, if it's a side by side or car or whatever, and walk from here and all that stuff. So,
right,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Speaking of turkey hunting, what are you doing this weekend, Mike? I'm getting right into it.
Yeah, so I'm headed to the NWTF National Convention down in Nashville. And a lot of people say, you're not supposed to tell people when you leave your house. I promise you, I have a really, really good person watching my house, and I have some freaking amazing neighbors who shoot first and ask later. So there's that.
Yep.
Plus, you got to, deal with a whole bunch of other stuff trying to get in my house. Good luck.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going down to the NWTF. I am super excited. We got a lot of cool things going on.
Awesome. I know I'm excited to get some of that footage back and get to editing that, because I know you've got some pretty cool stuff lined up for while you're down there.
I do.
I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but I'm leave it a mystery.
No, I'm pretty excited. I can't keep it a secret. So we got selected as one of the few people to actually go interview Sitka. So our interview is on Friday, and if anybody wants to send me a question, I'll try to work it in. We got 30 minutes with them, which is surprising. Most of the time their interviews are 5 to 10, and they don't normally give interviews. So
that's awesome.
The fact we got selected is pretty cool. We'll definitely be able to put some, good questions together and hopefully come away with a really good interview.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
And I don't think I've ever been more excited about an interview for anybody except for Eddie Salter.
Yeah. He's just, there's something about him, man. He's
a good man.
He is
that's my childhood hero.
Yeah. I mean, he is awesome. We went over with you the first day and talked to him.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the second day I went up and got some footage of his seminar, which is amazing.
That guy knows more information about turkey. I think he's a turkey.
So many things that are just smart that you would never think of.
Yeah.
And then the whole rest of the week that we were at the show, every time we walked past the booth, hey guys, how's it going? How are you today?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such a nice guy.
He is.
And there's very few people that are, as accomplished as he is, that are still humble and.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't care.
He's
just a good old boy that likes to shoot turkey, and he's damn good at it.
Yeah. If you ever follow him on Instagram, man, he's got some cool stuff over there. His memes that he comes up with, he goes, is that your property? Because if it is, the one that's got the 4 gobblers sitting out there, can I go hunt? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah, and his calls are top notch. He's got one of these aluminum box calls, and then he's got an aluminum slate claw, slate call. Sorry, I can't talk today. What's really cool about that is that you can actually take that that little aluminum box or slate call and call when it's wet.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you had a crystal call and it's wet, you ain't calling nothing.
Yep.
So
well, and he also had a and I ended up getting it from him. I bought like 4 things from him this weekend. It was bad.
I did too.
I was spending too much money. But he had another striker that's he said it was like a composite and fiberglass.
Yep.
That he said will call on any of the pot calls
Any
in
surface.
the rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I have some hot call that sucks. So I had to get I got a slate call in that little I forget what it's called. The little square one. It's real quiet.
I can't remember what it's called.
I
have
can't
to go
think
look
of the
it
name of it. But I'm excited to use that on that public land where those birds are, super pressured. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to get in, be quiet, and just sit there and just be real soft.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
If you're hitting it loud,
everyone else is going in, screaming and running around the woods. Just go in, find a place to sit down.
Yeah.
Soft talk to them.
That can work to your favor, though.
Right.
Let them go blow everything up.
Yep.
And hopefully you get them to come back to you,
Yeah.
So
it's a challenge. It's fun.
I think it's going to be fun. It's definitely a challenge on public land for sure. But going back and looking at the National Wildlife Turkey Federation and their conference, man, those folks really put it on. And for folks who don't understand how significant this group is, they have basically reintroduced turkeys to most of the states in the United States. We wouldn't have them without the National Wildlife Turkey Federation. So I strongly encourage you to go out there, donate, sponsor, whatever you can do. I think they've got a membership program for like $35. It's, definitely worth it. Then you get a little bit of discount if you go in and buy stuff from their website. So, and they don't pay us anything to, say anything good about them. I've just always followed them, been a member, and good stuff, Yeah,
absolutely.
We also have another interview that we're going to do down there. We kind of got one. I think you're still working on the edit from the Great American Outdoors Show, and that was with Catfish and Lacey with Nancy from Avula Safari.
Yep.
So I'm going to run into Nancy down there, and we're going to talk shop a little bit more and get some more in depth. I got a lot of questions people were asking about, so definitely going to get her on a one-on-one if we get time with her. But she definitely wants to sit down and talk.
Yeah, I know a lot of those people from the Great American Outdoor Show here in Pennsylvania were going down to Nashville. I mean, I had tons of people like, "Oh, are you guys going down to Nashville too?"
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not. Mikey is, so you'll be down there.
Yep. So, and the only people who I really wanted to see go down there, well, not the only people. I'm, aside from the people we've already mentioned, but the one that I'm sad is not going to be there is Flated. They're not going to be there.
Oh, no.
But I will tell you, I should be getting my blow-up camper for my truck on Friday.
Oh, hell yeah. That's fast.
Yeah.
That shipped real fast.
Yeah, for a 50-pound item. Yeah. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I just got my decked box in the other day.
Dude.
Drawer system.
So I have to ask you, did you time-lapse it?
I didn't.
I hate you.
I was going to, right? So I pulled everything out, set it all out the way they tell you to, and I'm looking at the instructions, trying to figure it out, kind of have an idea of what I'm doing before I just start diving into it.
Yeah.
And by the time I was like, all right, let's start putting these bigger pieces together, get everything set up and kind of, you get bolts kind of half started and all this stuff, and you really start going into it. And man, it was dark outside. I was standing.
I saw the pictures.
My bed with the headlamp. I was in a bad mood. I was like, man, I ain't taking a video of this. I'll get footage afterwards. I ain't time lapsing this thing, and it's a good thing because I would have looked like an idiot. It took me, I think, 4 hours to do it. But it really is simple.
Okay.
There's just a lot of really big, heavy pieces that having someone else there with you would have made it a lot easier.
Dude, do you know where I live? You could have come out here.
Well, and so see, the other thing too was that shipped freight. And so I had this big 6.5 foot pallet sitting in my driveway. And I was like, dude, I have to get this in now so I can get this box broken down and this trash out of the driveway.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll figure it out. Just jumped into it and started doing it. Man.
See, that's why you got to have a tractor with forks on it.
Well, Mikey, when you live in a townhouse,
Yeah, don't need one
you
of
don't
those.
get to have tractors.
I got you.
But yeah, dude, that thing.
So do you like it?
Oh God, I love it.
All right.
I love it.
I've been on the fence of getting one. What are you drinking? Before I forget.
I am drinking Stella.
Stella. All right.
Also, my computer just flashed for some reason. That was weird. All right.
I am drinking a Stone Fear Movie Lions FML.
What?
It's a hazy double IPA.
Oh, there you go.
I'm normally a Coors guy now, or
loved-
Pabst or something like that. But
I loved IPAs for a while, and then I had one. We were out in downtown Baltimore, and I had one, and the glass that it was served in still had soap in it.
Oh,
and it just ruined it. Like immediately, it just tasted like being a kid getting in trouble. My mom would put soap in my mouth while I was talking back to her and whatnot. And dude, now every time I drink an IPA, that's all I can think of. It just tastes like soap.
that's terrible.
Ruined it for me.
Yeah, that's not good.
Them.
Coors Banquets in the bottle.
Oh yeah,
that's my go-to.
Oh yeah.
But I can't get the bottles around. I mean, James, who's with Wild Valley, he can get them.
Mm-hmm.
But the only place I can find them around here is like Harris Teeter.
Yeah.
And they'll have them in occasionally. But anyway, so back to the deck.
Yeah.
I was like on the fence of getting one. And I kept saying, they take up a lot of room. Like, I use the bed of my truck a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about that?
So it does take up a lot. It cuts the depth of my bed probably in half. But so the reason I got one is I needed dry storage for the bed of my truck.
Makes sense.
Duck hunting out in the rain, even just running the boats up and down the river, all of our stuff is wet all the time. And throwing that in the back seat of my truck every day, my truck stank. The stuff was never really dried out, because it's just sitting there locked up.
And you got a nice truck.
Yeah. And it just, hunting season, ruined. Done. But so I wanted some kind of storage system in the back to keep my stuff dry. And originally I was thinking kind of like the flated, but just a bed cover.
Like
for
a
the
camper
back.
shell.
Yeah, a camper shell for the back. But then my issue with that is living in a townhouse, if I need to put something really big in it, I don't have an area to take that off and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Now with deflated, I could, deflate it, throw it in the bag, and stack it up in the corner and be perfect.
Yep.
And then even just a regular like tonneau cover, if I wanted to put something big inside of it, you have to, roll that up.
I got one of the flip ups on mine now.
Right. So if you want to put something big in it, all your stuff's still wet.
Yeah.
It's still not dry. So with the deck, I think it's a little bit harder, probably to tie stuff down to, but you can stack 2,000 pounds on top of it.
Yeah.
And they'll still slide. You can put more without breaking it, but that's what'll keep it sliding the way it's supposed to.
Gotcha.
Which, that's more than
Dude, you put a 2,000 pounds on top of that.
Dude, that's more than what my truck's rated for.
Right.
So that's never going to happen.
Right.
So really then the only issue is getting it tied down to something, which I've got the little tie down brackets that go onto the top of it, so it still gives me tie down points for it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I still have, dry storage. I can put a kayak or whatever on top of it and just strap it down to the deck instead of tying it down. And I think you could probably reach the corners of the bed still too if you pop the corner covers off. Each corner has like a little
I saw that
ammo can thing they call it, so you can put stuff in there.
Now, is that watertight too, or not so much?
So on their website, they say that it's not watertight. Every review that I've watched on YouTube and guys talking about it, they're like, dude, we've gotten inches of rain and there's like 4 drops of water inside the ammo can. So like they're not marketed as watertight, but they're pretty damn near watertight.
I got you.
But yeah, I'm stoked for it.
I would be
love
too.
it. Love it.
Reasonably priced.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
Yeah.
I think it was like 12, 13 by the time I got all the different accessories and everything I wanted for it. I got the slot so I can put my shotgun in, and it came with some big like storage boxes in there, like kind of like big tackle boxes, which you can put, whatever tools, ratchet straps, all that kind of stuff. It's nice that I have a place now. I took my hitch out of the back of my truck and put it in there so I don't kick my trailer hitch every time I'm walking around the backside of my truck.
Dude, I've got a B&W trailer hitch, and the greatest thing about that thing is you can fold it down and push it underneath the truck. That is amazing. So if you don't have a B&W hitch, I strongly encourage you to go get one. And they're lifetime warranty.
Really?
Yep.
That I didn't
Mine, I can't get the pin out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I called them. They said, if you send us a picture where you basically cut off the top of the ball and cut down the other side of it so they know it's destroyed, they'll send me a brand new one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just got to go get the oxyacetylene torch out and go do it. And I haven't had time to do that. So
yeah, I'll come over with an angle grinder and we'll get after it. We need like 2 cutting discs and a case of Coors, and we'll be all right.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let's see how it mounts up against hardened steel, right?
Oh God.
So yeah, we made it through the outdoor show. And I wanted to ask you, if you had to pick like one thing that you saw the whole time, that you were just like, yeah, this is the coolest thing ever, what would it be?
Oh man, I don't.
It's a hard question, huh? I have 2.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Kind of put you on the spot.
You really did. I think that camo that we looked at the one day, that's
The owl camo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to do a timber pattern or a grass pattern. I feel like a lot of the camo companies are all really doing the same thing.
Yep.
There's a few variations within it, but for the most part, they're all the same thing, not modeled after animals, especially a ambush predator bird like that. I think that's really interesting. Trying to think of what else.
My 2 favorite were the bow sling, the spider.
Yep.
Bow sling.
That thing was sweet.
Yep. And the other one that I really, really liked was obviously the flighted camper thing.
Yep. I said
now,
you bought one the first day we were there.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so cool.
Oh, and awesome.
Doyle's dad got one too. So
really?
I'm excited, super excited to get it in. So
yeah, that one
I will do a time lapse on that one.
That one hopefully is a little bit easier.
Yeah, I hope so too. If it's not, it's going back.
Oh Jesus!
But no, that spider sling, or I can't remember the name of it. I've got a card for the guy somewhere, but that thing was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was
really like that. And they're coming out with a bow knock type things, or a crossbow knock, so you can throw a crossbow on there, not just a compound.
Nice.
So that's gonna be cool.
So, and a question for you.
Yeah.
So this year was your first year up at the Great American Outdoor Show. Have you been to Nashville?
No.
So same thing.
Same thing.
So we'll have to get a comparison of which one you think is, kind of what you're expecting from Nashville versus, Pennsylvania. I know the night before you were like, what? So what all do they have? I've never been here. We're like, Mike, it's crazy.
And you can't explain it.
You're going to be lost.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? No, it can't be that big. The first day we walked in, you were like, I'm going to be lost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
100%. Somebody else is driving.
It's bad.
Yeah,
I'm interested
it was crazy.
If Nashville's the same way.
Yeah.
At the WTF.
It's at the Gaylord If you've never been there, that place is absolutely insane. We were there for a wedding reception, and we've been there a couple other times. So it's absolutely beautiful. It's got like this huge garden in the middle of the, you know, some atrium garden thing. It's amazing. But yeah, the Ryman uh, Conference Center
Mm-hmm.
is where they're hosting it, but they've got like a pub crawl. They've got, goodness, what else do they have? Auction. They've got a dinner for the sponsors, you know, all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to see which one's better. I think it's going to be kind of a hard one because this is strictly turkeys, right?
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I bet it's still pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm really excited to see the footage we get back and
Yeah.
get edited for all the YouTubes and Instagrams and all
Yeah.
that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, you know what? I was sitting here thinking, and you know, I was like flated and the spider bow thing, but you remember the RV folks, the X Grid
Yes.
campers?
Yes.
I think they were
up there.
Yeah, they were up there.
They were pretty cool. So I had gone over to get the interview, and the CEO, which his name's slipping my mind now, was
Lauren.
there. Lauren. I
Lauren
was
Walker.
talking to I'm terrible with names. That's why we call everyone Greg when we duck hunt.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were looking at him. I went over there and we were looking at him. And the guy that actually builds them was standing there, and he was kind of talking me through it and going over the, you know, all the different features and everything on it. And everything is just it's laid out in such a good, intelligent way.
Yep.
You know, everything's easy to get to. There's plenty of fuel storage, all the, you know, extra storage. The roof has, you know, racks and everything on it. You can walk on it. I mean, everything about it is just really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were up there too.
I was dead set on getting some type of like RV camper thing, and mainly because we have 2 dogs, and trying to figure out a place to stay with pets is rough. And I don't know. I just kind of looked at it a lot of different ways, and then I saw that thing. So we're gonna work with Lauren, try to take one out, see what we think, and he's an amazing guy. First and foremost, he's out in Las Vegas, but I know that he's looking to expand into some other areas. I think it's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pretty excited about that. I'd forgotten not really forgotten, but you know, as far as items that I saw up there, that was one of those that was like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely impressive.
Yeah, and we've got a short interview with them, you know, kind of up on Instagram right now. So if you're interested, go take a look at that. You can see a 10-second clip of one of the 2. But I know that Catfish and Lacey went over there to go talk to him. You went over to go talk to him. We had a lot going on. So I don't know if we actually got a full interview with them or not, but I know they were interested in coming on the podcast. So we're definitely going to do that.
Yeah. No, that'll be a good time. Those guys are all super cool too. So
yeah,
that'll be fun. Awesome.
So we're getting kind of close to time, but I wanted to ask a couple of things of you. So,
oh boy,
nah, not a big deal. I won't put you on the spot like I normally would, but so the late season goose.
Yep.
Its closeout date is what? Do you know?
I think it's this weekend.
This weekend. That's what I thought.
I believe. Yeah.
And y'all aren't guiding for that, right?
No.
All right.
No.
But after that, that's it for waterfowl and goose, right? Or all waterfowl.
Yep. For a while.
All right.
Yeah, we're done. I'm done at least until September. I'll be going up to Saskatchewan with Wild Valley to work up there. So I think
that's gonna be cool.
Other than, of course, we'll have blinds to work on and brush to throw on blinds and stuff down in Virginia this year, but that won't be till later summer when it's a little nicer to be outside on a boat.
Yeah. That's when you want to be out there.
Right. Yeah. Be out there and be comfortable.
Not
and
trudging through mud.
Yeah.
No,
it's fun.
No, it's cool. And I think by September of this year, you'll be sitting there saying, man, it's time to go.
Oh,
you'll be doing that like a
by
month.
April or May. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come April, I'll be like, man, I can't wait to duck hunt.
Yeah.
I miss it so bad. But yeah, no, I need February and March to not think about it as much as I can.
So, as a public service announcement, for those of you who are done waterfowl hunting, clean your freaking duck calls and goose calls.
Absolutely.
Clean them.
Absolutely.
All right.
I mean, they're an investment. They're, once you start getting up into the, especially the high dollar acrylic calls, take care of them.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
Take care of them and they'll last you a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
Clean them out. And I always joke that my call doesn't sound right unless it has little pieces of chocolate donut in it. But
that's what you tuned it for.
Right. That's how I tune it. I add that into the tune. It's the little chocolate donut crumbles. But no, we'll be in the blind and we'll joke about that. And then, within 5 minutes, I'm pulling it apart and running paper towels through it to get it cleaned out. And
right.
They work.
Unlike other people that you know, Travis.
Oh my God.
Uncle Trav does not clean his freaking calls.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Does Little D clean his?
I think
Probably
he does
not.
a little bit.
Wiener doesn't.
I know Wiener doesn't.
Oh.
So I think it was the November split this year. We're in the blind and I had made breakfast for everyone and Wiener goes to put syrup all over his pancakes and missed and it ran straight down the opening of his call. Filled his call to the brim with maple syrup. And so he pulled it apart and we're kind of trying to wipe it down and we're cracking open bottles of water because it's sticking and it was a mess.
Yeah.
And through late December, I'd grab that call because I liked the way that one sounded. And it would taste like maple syrup.
Oh, God.
You'd blow it and get done and kind of lick your lips after you're done. And it was
It's
sweet.
the maple syrup.
It was sweet
call.
like maple syrup. I'm like, dude, your call still tastes like maple syrup. Go clean this thing. But, that's
terrible.
part of the tune. We tuned it with maple syrup.
The maple syrup tune. Especially for him.
Take care of them. They're not cheap unless you got money to throw away.
Next week, we'll try to do a real quick one on the Hump Day with the Hunting Quest. Do a quick demo on how to keep them clean, how you want to store them. I'm going to hold you accountable for that one.
Right on. Yeah, I'll get the stuff. Get
Cool.
everything in order to do that.
And then we also got a couple of requests on top of the National Wild Turkey Federation to go on different podcasts and have some folks on. Little bit behind, but I'm going to get the schedule posted. We have a ton of people after the show that really want to come on. So, going to probably throw that up on the website, and that's thehuntingquest.com. And we'll kind of, do a little bit better job saying, hey, look, this is what's coming up. So, Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff, Facebook, and let you know who's coming on and what's going on. But I got this one today from Buzz Hunting, and they want us to go over there, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then we're going to reciprocate and have them come over here. So
Awesome.
That ought to be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see things kind of growing.
Yeah.
And before you know it, we'll be shooting some
connections and,
yeah,
making friends that have similar passions. And that's why we do it.
That's it. And so a lot of things on the rise. And we got some cool shirts. If anybody's interested in a new shirt, shoot me an email and we'll try to get you something out. But that's kind of everything I wanted to cover. What about you?
I think that sums it up.
Cool.
That's about it.
Yeah, I kind of like this. I'm glad we got this working.
Yeah, this nice little 30-minute one. That's nice on a
Goes by
Wednesday.
quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
these are nice.
All right. Well, with all of that, hopefully we'll see you at the National Wild Turkey Federation conference down in Nashville. And if you do, come by and say, hey, we don't have a booth, but you can look for me in a shirt kind of like this, Hunter Orange. I will not ever call this Tennessee Orange because I'm an Alabama fan.
That's what it is.
It's Hunter Orange.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, I appreciate everybody listening. And Bennett, you going to send us home?
We'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Keep it simple. All right. See y'all.
You've been listening to The Hunting Quest. No matter how crazy, high-tech, or lazy the rest of the country gets, we will always be hunting and fishing. If that's you, you've found your new family. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. Reach out to us by email at info@thehuntingquest.com. And check us out on Instagram and YouTube at The Hunting Quest. See you next time.